The rain fell soft that afternoon. It tapped the kitchen window like fingers on a memory. I sat at our old wooden table, staring at the empty chair where Sarah used to sit. Her laughter used to fill this house like sunlight. It had been 5 years since she left. 5 years since our last fight. Angry words, a slammed door, silence. When the doorbell rang, I thought it was the neighbor. I was wrong. I wiped my hands on my apron. I walked slow to the door, slippers shuffling on the creaky floor. I opened it. There she was. Sarah, soaked, shivering. Her eyes were red and tired. I didn't cry. I didn't ask why. I just pulled her inside. My heart pounded, ache and hope mixed together. I wrapped her in a warm towel from the hall closet. I led her to the fire crackling in the living room. The flames flickered soft. They cast shadows on the walls lined with photos. Photos of us laughing in the park, baking cookies, smiling like nothing could break us. We sat there. The rain drummed outside. I kept asking myself, is this real? I felt the old hurt rise up, quiet but sharp, like a splinter I'd carried too long. Maybe all mothers carry the weight of words they never said. But I didn't know that by the end of that rainy day, everything in my life would change. She sat quietly by the fire, her hands wrapped around the cup of tea I gave her. The steam rose slowly. It curled in the warm air between us. Neither of us spoke. 5 years of silence filled that small living room, louder than any words could. Outside, the rain kept falling, steady and cold, like time that never stopped for either of us. I watched the flames dance. They lit up her face in soft orange. She looked older, but still my little girl. I realized how easily love can turn into silence. You still keep the old photos, she finally said. Her voice was soft, almost afraid. I nodded. I never took them down. She looked at the pictures again, the park, the cookies, our smiles. I thought, maybe you hated me, she whispered. I wanted to tell her I tried. I really did, but hate never came, only hurt. I could never hate you, Sarah, I said quietly. I just couldn't understand why you left. She looked down at her hands. Do you remember that night? She asked. The one when we argued about Mom's things? I nodded. That was the night everything broke. I said things I shouldn't have. She walked out the door. I thought she'd come back the next morning. She never did. I thought you wanted me gone, she said. I thought I wasn't enough. Her voice cracked. And I realized something I should have seen years ago. She didn't leave because she stopped caring. She left because she was hurting, too. Maybe all mothers carry the weight of words they never said. The fire crackled softly between us. All this time, I said, I told myself, you didn't love me anymore. She looked up, tears glimmering in her eyes. All this time, she said, I wished you'd come find me. Silence again. Only the sound of rain. And two hearts trying to remember how to beat together. I kept thinking, how did we let it get this far? I reached out, just for a moment, and held her hand. It was cold, trembling. But real, maybe, I said softly, it's not too late. She smiled, not a big smile, just enough to let me know there was still something left to save. The fire burned low. The rain slowed, and for the first time in 5 years, the house didn't feel empty anymore. The fire burned low. The rain had stopped, but its scent still floated in the air. Soft, clean, almost forgiving. She leaned back on the couch, holding the same cup of tea. Now cold. Her fingers trembled slightly as she set it down. There was a heaviness between us. Not anger, not blame. Just years of things left unsaid. I was scared, she whispered. After Mom died, I didn't know how to stay. Everything here reminded me of her. And of you. Her words hit me like quiet thunder. I remembered those days, her room empty, her laughter gone, me pretending to be strong. But inside, I was breaking, too. I thought if I didn't talk about her, I said, the pain would fade. But it didn't. It only built walls between us. She nodded slowly, tears shining in her eyes. I needed you to hold me, she said softly, but you were hurting too. And I didn't see it. The room fell silent again. But this time, it wasn't the silence of distance. It was the silence of understanding. I reached for her hand again. This time, she didn't pull away. Her fingers were warm now and trembling less. Sarah, I said, my voice low, I'm sorry. For every word I said in anger, for the ones I never said at all, I'm sorry, too, she whispered. for leaving when you needed me most." For a moment, neither of us spoke. The fire gave one last pop, a spark that faded into ash. And in that quiet, something inside both of us healed. Not all at once, but enough to breathe again. I stood up. I went to the window. The clouds were breaking apart, thin streaks of sunlight spilling through. She walked up beside me, wrapped her arm through mine, and rested her head on my shoulder. Something she hadn't done since she was little. "It feels strange," she said softly. "What does coming home?" I smiled. "Maybe home isn't a place," I said. "Maybe it's the moment we forgive." She nodded. Outside, the sunlight hit the wet road, and everything shimmered like new. I told myself it was normal. Teenagers push, mothers hold on, but each slam felt like a crack in our bond. Her 18th birthday came. We had a party in the backyard. String lights twinkled. Neighbors brought cakes. She blew out candles with a secret wish. That night, she said it. "I'm going to the city for college." My stomach dropped. "But this is home," I said. She looked away. Packing day was hard. Boxers by the door. Her drawings folded neat. I helped, but my hands shook. She hugged me quick, got in her old car, waved from the window. Dust rose on the gravel road. I stood on the porch, watched until she was gone. The house echoed that night. And every night after, mornings were the worst. I'd make coffee for one, sit at the table, stare at her empty chair. The garden grew wild. Weeds took over her flower beds. I didn't have the heart to pull them. Letters came at first, short notes about classes, new friends. I'd read them by the fire, flames crackling soft. Then calls grew rare. "Busy," she'd say. I understood, but it hurt. Christmas came, no Sarah. The tree lights twinkled alone. I drank tea by the radio. Soft carols played, tears fell quiet. I joined a book club. The library smelled of old pages. Ladies chatted over cookies. It helped a little, but nights were long. I'd lie awake, wondering if she was safe, if she missed me. Regret crept in. Had I pushed too hard, held too tight? I replayed our fights in my head. One spring, a letter came. Not from Sarah, from her friend. "She's struggling," it said, "too proud to ask for help." My heart raced. I wanted to call, but I waited, hoping she'd come on her own. Years blurred, seasons changed. Leaves fell gold. Snow blanketed the yard. I turned 60, baked a small cake, ate it alone. The mirror showed gray hair, lines of worry. Then that rainy day, the doorbell. Sarah on the step, soaked, broken, but home. We didn't rush words. I made soup. Steam rose from the pot. She chopped carrots slow. Over dinner, candlelight flickered. She said, "City life isn't what I thought." I listened, no judgment. Bedtime came. I tucked her in, like when she was small. The hallway light glowed warm. Lying in bed, I felt grateful, but worried. What pain did she carry? Morning brought sun. Birds sang. We ate on the porch. Coffee steamed. Days turned 2 weeks. We gardened. Hands in soil. Her laugh came back slow. Walks in the park. Leaves crunched. She shared bits. A job lost. Friends who left. I shared 2 lonely nights. Regrets. The air felt clearer. But old habits returned. I asked too much. She pulled away. One afternoon, thunder rumbled. We did a puzzle inside. She sighed. "Mom, I need space." It stung, but I nodded. The room grew quiet. We navigated careful. Evenings by the fire. Stories shared. Photos flipped. Laughter mixed with tears. Her phone buzzed. City calls. I worried she'd leave again. But we built bridges. Cooking. Talking. Healing. Months passed. Spring bloomed. She got a job at the library. Books stacked high. Market trips. Baskets full. Laughter in aisles. But unresolved words lingered. Why she left so sudden? I remembered that last fight. Her yelling about freedom. Me crying in the kitchen. One evening, sunset pink, we sat on the swing, creaking soft. "Mom, I'm sorry," she said. Tears welled. I held her hand. Wind whispered. Forgiveness started there. Slow, like dawn. Fall leaves turned red. We walked home from the market, bags heavy, her steps slow. In the kitchen, apples shone red. She looked serious. "Mom, I need to tell you why I came back." My heart skipped. Clock ticked loud. I nodded. She breathed deep. I was in a bad place. Lost my job. Then a man, he wasn't good. Things got rough. Tears fell. Hers, mine. Light faded outside. I held her hand. Table worn from years. Why not call sooner? No blame. Pride. She whispered. Shame. After how I left. Memories flooded. Doors slamming. Car fading. Rain like bookends. We talked through evening. Candles lit. She shared cold apartment. Draining jobs. A man who hurt. I listened. Heartbreaking, quiet. Had I failed her? But she continued. Coming back was hard. Drove all night. Rain blurring. Thought you'd turn me away. Never. I said. Word warm. That confession changed us. Walls felt. We cried. Hugged in dim light. Next day's raw. Mornings quiet. Coffee shared. Garden work healed. She opened more old letters. Read by window. Sunlight soft. Pain surfaced. Her loneliness. My regrets. We sought help. Counselor in town. Office cozy. Sessions.com. Progress slow. Evenings reflective. Fire crackling. One night. Storm outside. Power out. Candles glowed. I blamed you, she said, for holding back. But I was scared. I nodded. Thunder boomed. After Dad, understanding bloomed like flowers after rain. Winter came, snow soft. We decorated, lights twinkled, laughter returned. Baking pies, cinnamon warm. Bad days came. She withdrew. Door closed, soft. I'd knock. Tea, simple. She'd emerge, eyes puffy. Hugs needed no words. Spring renewed, buds on trees. She smiled more. We talked future, dreams over breakfast. Sun golden. The turning point lingered. From broken to mending. I felt stronger, less fear, more trust. Evenings on porch, stars above. We're okay, she'd say. And we were, step by step.
Truth out, we rebuilt. Morning's ritual, coffee on porch. Dawn, pink and gold. Sarah joined a group, community center warm. She'd share over dinner. Table full. I encouraged, you're brave. Kitchen smelled of stew. Challenges came. Old habits, me worrying, her snapping brief. But we paused. Sorry. Quick, sincere. A letter from City. The man apologizing. She read by fire. What do you think? Your choice. You've grown. She tore it. Pieces fell. Weight lifted. Summer outings. Lake drives. Water blue. Picnics free. New friends. Dinners loud. House alive. I watched proud. Her confidence like roses. Fall raking. Piles jumped. Laughter echoed. Conversations turned plans. I might stay. Sunset, warm, joy filled. Whatever makes you happy. Winter holidays, tree lights, gifts wrapped. Family complete. Bad dreams rare. Midnight cocoa. Kitchen warm. A year since return. Cake anniversary. Candles flickered. We made it. Tea toasted. Bonds mended. Stronger for breaks. Life peaceful. Routines cherished. Walks, talks. Quiet evenings. Gratitude grew. Second chances. Home pain faded. Lessons stayed. Empathy deep. Love shore. Resolution daily. Choices to stay. To forgive. House warm. Rain comfort now. We were home together.
Years later, I sit by the window. Rain returns. Gentle rhythm. Soft, familiar. Sarah calls every morning. Her laughter steady now. New job. Kind friends. She visits often. Brings flowers. Bakes bread. We talk for hours. Sometimes we revisit that night. Not with pain, with peace. Remember the rain? We smile. Yes, it was the start. Life settled in quiet grace. Not perfect, but full. Neighbors wave. Garden blooms. Memories no longer sting. Photographs line the shelf. Young faces. Older eyes. Stories lived on stormy nights. I light a candle for the girl who left and the woman who came home. The fire burns low. Rain whispers outside. Peace fills corners once cold. And for the first time in 5 years, the house doesn't feel empty anymore. The fire burns low. The rain has stopped, but its scent still floats in the air. Soft, clean, almost forgiving. She leans back, eyes closing, smile gentle. Outside, the world glistens new. Inside, love remains.